Welcome everyone. My name is Helen Palmer from Social Media Sorcerer, and today I am presenting the first in a series of free webinars designed to help you build a Facebook business page that connects with your audience and delivers leads and sales. First, a little housekeeping. Can you raise your hand or type into the box on the right hand side whether you can hear me and see my screen, which is currently showing Helen Palmer, picture of me, and a hand as well. So can you see that? Great, that's fantastic. Thank you very much for those little nods in the box on the right hand side there. If you have any questions, what I propose to do today is for you to type them into the box on the right hand side again, just at the bottom there of your control panel, and I'll do a Q&A session towards the end. I find that I stop the flow of information a little bit if we're not and I don't catch up with the questions. So if we can do that, that would be fantastic, and I'll address any questions we get towards the end. If you can turn off your mobile phones, disconnect from landlines, and of course close out from Facebook for the time being. I have a ton of information and I really don't want you to miss any of it. If you would like to take notes, please do, although this is going to be recorded and will be available to you soon after the webinar. Let's take a look at what we're going to learn today. We're going to look at 3 key ingredients to Facebook success, starting with the difference between a profile page and a business page, how pimping your business page to reflect company branding can make you stand out from the crowd, and why building a list is so important for your future success. I'm just going to do a quick poll to find out sort of where everyone is. Do you currently have an active Facebook business page? Please just click on one of the radio buttons that's showing on your screen now, and then we can. It's just really just get a feel of where everyone is in with Facebook and the sort of things that I can tell you about and help you with. Great, looks as if most people have voted. That's great. I'm just going to close the poll now. Fantastic, thanks very much for doing that. Well, for those of you that don't know me, let me introduce myself. I've been online marketing now since around about 2000, starting with a small website in the travel industry and using both online and offline marketing strategies to sell holidays in South Africa. Over the years, I've learnt the best ways to stay on top of the game through article marketing, search engine optimization, and Web 2.0, which these days has morphed into the more widely known social media today. Social Media Sorcerer itself was launched to help other small business owners make the most of online platforms such as Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook and others, combining all aspects of marketing to turn unproductive websites into lead-generating machines. You've spent a lot of money on getting those websites built, and what most people forget really is that it has to be marketed. No one's going to find your website if you don't do a little bit of work to get it more visible on the internet. So that's really where I come in and help to integrate all of your online presences together so that they're really making the most of them for you. While most of my work through Social Media Sorcerer is a done-for-you service, it has become obvious that more people are in need of help in a quicker and easier to access for themselves kind of way. So hence the launch of Facebook Success Essentials. Why has Facebook grown to be so important to businesses, and why is it imperative that your business is there too? Well, Mark Zuckerberg launched Facebook in 2004 for college students as a means of keeping track of their social lives. By reacting to the demands of its users, Facebook has now over 800 million active users, with over 50% of those users logging in every single day. Those of you who have heard me speak before will know that if Facebook was a country, it would be ranked as the third largest in the world. And that's with more than 75% of the users actually being outside of the USA, which is incredible. We tend to think that the States is going to be the biggest of users, but it isn't necessarily the case. Each user has on average 130 friends, is connected to around 80 community pages, groups and events. More than 7 million apps and websites are actually integrated with Facebook alone, and to me one of the more staggering statistics, and I think the most important to remember, is that more than 350 million users access Facebook through mobile devices, i.e. their smartphones, iPhones, iPad. It's amazing what can be kept in a back pocket. And this is significant for the future of online marketing of small businesses, but I think that's a subject we better cover in another webinar. It's a huge opportunity that's coming down the pipe, and I've got lots of ideas and things on that. So needless to say that it's no longer seen as something your teenage children spend their life glued to, and it has surpassed Google as the most visited website of all time. It is safe to say that Facebook has completely changed the rules about how to market, not just online but offline as well, and it is this game-changing role that we'll be looking at over the next couple of webinars. More importantly is how we can harness these disruptions to traditional media marketing to gain market share for our own businesses. So, what does this mean for our small businesses? Well, because of the way focus has shifted to online sharing of information with our friends and family, we have reverted to Facebook being rather like the front doorstep of old, where we used to gossip and exchange information and help with our next door neighbour. With today's technology, we are doing that in a modern way on Facebook. It allows for small companies to be able to compete with much bigger organisations, especially now that search engine optimization has become more about how much you can invest in getting your website to the top of the rankings, rather than it being about great content and information, but more about that later. It also increases brand awareness, allowing for your message to be seen by a much wider audience. So how do we get started then? One of the most important things to remember here is that Facebook wants to know that we are real people with real information to share. Because of this, Facebook decreed that everyone has to have a profile page first and a fan page, or some people call it a fan page, some people call it a business page, having that second. This photo that we're showing here in the top left hand corner is from Social Media Sorcerer's business page. As you can see, it looks a little different from certainly the new timeline profile pages that are coming in, and that's a really good thing. And it's this most important distinction for several reasons. One being that you're able to keep separate your private life and your business life. It doesn't actually stop you having as many business pages as you want, and they can all then be operated from your one profile page, which makes it really super simple. And you can access that from your profile page if you click up on the little drop down box up in the right hand corner, and you can use your business pages rather than your profile page, and that's how you work on them. You must make sure that you personalize both your profile and your business pages. People really want to know about you, not a logo or a brand. And obviously it's important to have those aspects in there, but if there's photographs of you and your team, maybe, who's in your team, how do they help your customers? And make sure that you can have that real conversation with your audience, and that you really step out from behind your desk. A picture obviously tells 1,000 words. It's really important here to have those photos, especially of you and your team. It allows really for your visitor to connect more easily with you. Where you want to make a difference is in perhaps the tone of your business page. Remember, this page is to be the face of your business, so it's really exciting times here. What do you want your business to look like and sound like? How do you want it to reflect you and what you do? One way to achieve this difference is obviously through the content that you put out through your page. Throughout the internet, actually, whether it's on your website, in articles, PR releases, content is king. And for search engine optimization, the better and more rich the content, the better your natural search engine rankings will be. Now, this includes stuff you post on Facebook and Twitter, as well as your website and it makes a huge difference with the search engines in their placings, where it's going to put your information and pages and that. Harnessing Facebook to work for you is the key to all of your activity. What you want your fans to do is to take action and engage with you and your page, getting them to comment, click the like button, share your content. And really, the way to do this is for you to be there too, so that you're engaging, showing up, being consistent, and you're helping build your community. Your fans will get to know that you do show up, do comment, do reply to their comments, do guide them, and obviously take an interest in what they've got to say. Really, it's being mindful that what your audience are looking for, being mindful of what they want, not what you want to tell them, but what they need to learn and find out from you. And in doing it this way, you're really going to reap the rewards of all that work. Just being yourself and being friendly usually wins the game, I find. Creating a unique front for your page, here, what you're actually able to do is to design almost whatever you want these days. And so making sure that you've got all the information in a nice picture, like the Virgin one here, and actually the Coke bottle there is all they've got on the left hand side. It's a place where you can do a little bit of advertising or help people consume your page. You'll catch the eye of your audience if you do this, and if you make it fun and engaging and entertaining, you're really going to start to get that involvement from your audience. If you're branding your Facebook page too to look similar to your website, you're going to be able to create those links and that sort of bridge, if you like, so that people can really associate the two together. It lets them know that you're professional, obviously, as well, and an expert in your field. Make sure that you're using keywords that are actually being searched for your business as well throughout the copy that you use on Facebook, and this goes of course for your website and your blog. The internet is used for searching, obviously for information. People are looking for help with problems. How do I? What do I do when? Those sort of questions. And if you're using and creating keyword rich content that helps solve those problems, you're going to be streets ahead of your competition. As branding your pages, as I suggested earlier, helps create an image in your audience's mind, so do pictures. As I've said earlier, using images that are colourful, tell a story, help to cement your business in your visitors' minds. Obviously, both of the photos we've used here, the Virgin one and the Coca-Cola bottle, are from their Facebook pages. Both are obviously instantly recognisable. The Coke bottle actually is all that there is on that page for a profile, but obviously over the years it's such an iconic image, but it's that image that's telling a story, and through your branding you can make this the face of your business. So it's really important. People also you'll find do business with those people that they know, like and trust. Ultimately, they do business with a person, not an inanimate business, but with you. And Facebook facilitates this connection really nicely to get to know others, like them, and then trust them enough to do business with them by being able to create that relationship, beginning of a conversation. And if you couple Facebook with a number of other tools, you really start to see the power of the integration and of obviously Facebook, your websites, and other things as well. So that's really how branding can help you. Now, I was always taught in the days when I first got started in sales and marketing, offline obviously, long in the tooth, but I was always taught that the goals in the list, even in the days, as I say, before internet and autoresponders and things like that, and it's the people that you know, that you stay in touch with, that you network with, who you help, and ultimately who help you by obviously buying your stuff. And what you really need to do is to use Facebook to build that list. It's like setting up a modern day Rolodex, really, through an autoresponder. Great practice, very simple to do. And if you are then able to sort of consistently help your audience get more of what they want. By using Facebook business pages like this, you'll know what your audience are looking for, because you're involving yourself with them. You'll be able to keep in touch much more easily, and will be able to satisfy their needs much more immediately as well. So also bear in mind that you do need a strong call to action. Literally, you've got to tell them that they need to click the like button above, or fill in the form, or click send to receive. And here, sending out your free report or free webinar perhaps, or a free video series, lots of ideas there to start getting their confidence. Because basically, if they're not going to be confident enough to give you their perhaps just their first name and email address, or you maybe even just an email address, they're not going to really want to learn more about you and get their wallet out when it comes to it to actually buy anything from you. So if you start that idea off in their heads, that they buy through a strong call to action, that, hey, look, come and have a look at my free information, and then you gently lead them through from there to obviously more of, if they like what they're seeing, then here's more of how they can get more of what you offer. So let's take a look at some of the questions. If you've got questions, please type those into the question box on the side here, and I'll take a look at those. I'll just give you a few minutes just to pop some questions into the box. I've had one that's come through from somebody who unfortunately won't be able to be on the call, and needless to say, I have gone back to her already with this answer, but I thought it was worth repeating for you. Will this webinar be recorded, and where do I go for the recording? That's a great question from Marianne. Thank you very much for asking that. Yes, the webinar is being recorded and will be available to you shortly through an email link that I will send out to you. All the webinars are a foundation to a masterclass, actually, which I'll show you about the nuts and bolts a little bit later. Okay. Got one question just come in now. Does a Facebook page work for every business? Another great question. Yes, because the page basically acts just like a website. It's like your bricks and mortar store on the high street, for want of a better analogy, working 24/7 for you. It's really great, and it's really not just about leads, but actual sales as well in time. But it's worth taking that time to really engage with your audience, and the sales will come later. But by building a community where people can really find out about you, you're building that know, like and trust. So it's a fantastic way to be able to do that, even in its most simplest form. It's really great. I've got another question that's popped up, which is very related to this actually. If I've got a website, why do I need a Facebook page? Thanks for asking that question, David. Well, it's important to know that all of your web presence, like your website, blog, Twitter, are rather like fishing rods in the water. Now, the more fishing rods you have, the more likely you're going to be able to catch that fish. So obviously, the more places people can find you online, the more chance you're going to get to be viewed as the expert at what you do. It's building that trust as well. If you're putting out fantastic content as well that helps people solve the problems we've discussed, then the more likely that you're going to get someone to know, like, and trust you. I've got another question in. Will there be screenshots to help guide us on what to actually do when you do the masterclass? Yes, the masterclass will actually be fully interactive with you students. You'll be able to speak with me, and we'll be doing a lot in the way of more in actual detail, how-to, hands-on stuff. And due really to the large number of people on the call, it's not possible to be able to speak with you all directly and show you. The masterclass is going to be a small group, so I'll be able to help you much more personally. Everything will be recorded for you to review as often as you'd like, and will also be in a special private members site. But there'll be more details on that in the next few webinars. Does a link from your Facebook page count as a link in Google's eyes? Fantastic question. Yes. But as with most things to do with search engine optimization, it will only be considered in the algorithms for a period of time. Now, this is determined a bit on really how frequently you're active on your Facebook page. It isn't a set once and forget about it sort of thing. You do need to manage links, any link actually, wherever it comes from, whether it's coming from other websites into, say, your website or into Facebook, things like that. To get the most out of them, you do need to, be doing this on a consistent basis. But if you're producing plenty of quality content on a regular basis, there are no worries. You're not going to have to worry about that. How can offline advertising help promote the Facebook business page? How does it create the bridge? Great question. Have you noticed how so many of the top brands, like the ones we've been discussing today, Virgin and Coca-Cola, advertising on TV often display their Facebook address rather than their own websites? And it's because obviously those little icons, the Facebook icon, is so widely recognized these days. And it really draws people in. It actively encourages people to get involved in the community that they have on Facebook. So obviously not everyone does TV advertising. It's an extremely expensive way to go about it, but basically that Facebook symbol, the power is in that Facebook symbol being widely used, and you can use it too in other forms of offline advertising, as well as obviously your website and blogs and things like that. But I mean, for instance, if you were doing some newspaper advertising or something that's very popular around us at the moment are those free sort of booklets that come through the door. Why not use your Facebook address there? Or on leaflets, if you're doing a leaflet drop somewhere, use them there, that sort of thing. So that's a really good way of using the power of Facebook offline as well as online. Well, it looks to be all the questions for today. What I want to do is just, in conclusion, take a look at what we've learned here today. The distinction between a business page and a profile page, how pimping your page creates a powerful image, and why building your list helps relationships flourish. I think that's a bit like a garden. If you do a lot of planting, watering, and making it grow, you have a little bit of time there to have to watch it grow from the seed. But if you plant the seed, water it and care for it, then you're going to be able to see those flowers flourish. And it's exactly the same with anything that you do online. Plant the seed, water it, tend it, and then you'll be able to harvest the flowers at the end. Don't forget to register for Monday's next free webinar. That's on Monday the 9th of January. The 3 key essentials you're going to be learning there, all about the reveal box and how that can really be quite a powerful thing for you, but also how it can be quite controversial, so that's quite interesting. The opt-in box, again, that's a bit more to do with building your list, and the news feeds, how you can harness the news feeds for finding content and what your audience is talking to you about. If you have any more questions, please do send them in so that I can answer them on Monday for you. And have a really fantastic weekend. I'll look forward to speaking with you all again on Monday. Take care. Bye for now.